now are staying apart so that someday we can all be together again.
Someday we can be together again. Well, thanks, Governor. We appreciate your kindness in allowing that. So how long will that be until we can be together again? Well, Mills, who is clearly deeply enjoying her newfound power, didn't specify how long. There's, quote, no timeline for that. Things will not be normal soon, she warned. We are inventing a new normal, end quote. Now, you may be wondering, where exactly does Janet Mills derive the power to invent a, quote, new normal for 1.3 million people, to remake human society in whatever form she chooses? Mills did not explain that either. Instead, the governor read a selection from a 31-year-old novelist called Veronica Roth. Roth wrote that, quote, gritting your teeth through pain is part of the, quote, slow walk toward a better life. Deep thoughts from Janet Mills. A slow walk toward a better life. That's what Mills is promising. But wait a second. Wasn't this all supposed to be about a public health emergency, the latest epidemiology, science? Yeah, that was last month. It's now about, quote, a better life. People in power abuse their power. That may be the lesson here. The arrival of a terrifying new virus from China gave our leaders more power than anyone has had in the history of this country. 6 weeks ago, America was something resembling an imperfect democracy. We had an election on the horizon that we were sort of paying attention to. Back then, Andrew Cuomo was considered a thuggish, possibly corrupt regional leader. But suddenly everything has changed. Now, this is an oligarchy managed by bureaucrats and tech moguls, none of whom are accountable to voters. Our leaders are making decisions that will affect your family forever with virtually no oversight or accountability. And of course, they love it. We shouldn't be surprised they don't want it to end. Jeff Bezos, for example, has made billions of dollars since the lockdown began. How shocked are you that his personal newspaper, The Washington Post, is arguing at the highest possible volume that the lockdowns must continue? Not very shocked. They all feel that way. This is the best thing that has ever happened to them. It's their chance. Let's say you once tried to run the country, but on 2 separate occasions, voters rejected you. They disliked you, and they disliked your program so much that they elected a casino owner from reality television instead. What if that happened to you? You'd probably be pretty stung by it and bitter. And then one day you wake up and the country is in chaos. Normal life has been suspended. This is the perfect opportunity to impose your will on a paralyzed nation. You would seize that opportunity, and she has.
Every form of health care should continue to be available, including reproductive health care that eventually and quickly, I hope, gets us to universal health care. This would be a terrible crisis to waste, as the old saying goes.
More abortion! Universal health care! Those are the required responses to the Wuhan coronavirus, declares Hillary Clinton. Yeah. Every politician on all sides has an ideological wish list. Usually it's filled with strange and unlikely ideas that under normal circumstances are kept in check by voters. As a group, voters instinctively distrust ideology, and for good reason. No one's keeping those ideas in check now. Nobody cares what voters think anymore. It's time to govern without limits. Watch disgraced New York Mayor Bill de Blasio explain that as a matter of public health or something, we need more, quote, inclusion and equity.
This city was written off more times than I can count. This city came back stronger every time. Now we're going to come back stronger and fairer. Immediate actions the city government needs to take and build out as part of the bigger vision is a city task force on racial inclusion and equity, focusing on the disparities we're seeing already, making sure that we are addressing structural racism that is obviously present in the realities we're facing with this disease.
So this pandemic is really about structural racism. That's what Bill de Blasio was telling us. Bet you didn't know that. Bet you assumed it was a virus. Remember? How confused are you? Doesn't matter, because Bill de Blasio doesn't care what you think. Like all of our leaders, from now on, he plans to do exactly what he wants. And he can.